Yeah, and then just 1 minute before we go live, the big man shows up.
Yeah.
Just to make us nervous.
T. Maddox himself.
Nervous. Yeah, we had actually, first, welcome to the Soundrop Livestream, everybody. December version, where we pull back the curtain on music distribution and all kinds of other weird stuff. You know, I've had a couple things changed up on me right at the last second here.
Do tell.
Number one, our producer guy here, Tony, no relation to Pony, because people aren't related because their first names rhyme.
You're blowing my mind.
I know, which is not easy. We'll cover your mind later.
Thank you.
But also, he asked me to sit on a booster seat because I'm so short compared to Rusty.
Yeah, I'm really broken up about it too.
Yeah, all right. So viewers at home, this is what Pony actually looks like.
And this is what I actually look like.
Yeah. And apparently that's not good for TV.
No. So let's fix it.
So here's Rusty's been told to slouch, and I've been given a booster seat, which is just a rolled up tablecloth.
Really pulling back the curtain on this one.
Yeah, we're really pulling back the curtain. So this has been good for my self-esteem. So let's try to repair some of that. Welcome to the Soundrop Livestream, everybody. We're going. I'm Pony.
I'm Rusty.
And that has already been covered, I guess. Today we're going to talk about
so many things.
Yes, so many things. Some interesting things that go on with classical music metadata. Rights disputes, DMCA takedowns. We're going to cover some of the behind the scenes on how that works. Rusty's going to show you a very simple and free tool that a lot of people use, and we're going to dig into the guts of that and show you how that works for promoting a single or an album or whatever. And we're also going to talk about a new partnership that we're getting into that can help you guys secure rights on original sound recordings to sample and use in your works completely free, or not completely free, completely legal though.
That's right.
All right. But first,
an
announcement that we've probably announced already.
Let's announce it.
But let's announce it here. We are going to be at MagFest. Super MagFest.
Super.
It's going to be super. We're going to be there the whole time. We're going to be meeting with artists. We're going to be on a panel.
Yeah.
We're going to be hosting a panel with Materia Collective and
Jesse from Louder as well.
Jesse from Spotify.
Ah, yes, of course.
So, yeah.
From Louderfy.
We're going to be hosting a panel at MagFest, and we graciously invited Spotify to be on the panel with it. You know, throw them a bone every once in a while. Those little guys over there and their little streaming service. You know, figured we'd give them a shot to talk to the masses. Rusty, is there anything in particular that you want to accomplish while you're at MagFest? Super MagFest. How super are you going to get?
I'm going to get so super. At the Mag West, one of my favorite things was getting my ass completely kicked at Street Fighter. I would love to challenge Sounddroppers to video games. You beat me, you get free licensing. Let's party.
Who's your main, baby?
My main is Akuma, if it's Alpha 3, or it's Ryu or Ken, if it's regular Street Fighter 2. Whatever, dude. Sweep the leg all day.
Yeah.
Hadouken all over you.
Whatever. Yoga fire. I'll punch you like this.
Yeah. Well, that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a good time. We had such a blast at MagWest. I can only imagine how much bigger and cooler Super Mag's going to be.
Yeah.
Stoked.
And now I'm going to be there. Careful with the lava light, bro. They told us to be more animated this time, so we're trying to do that, but Rusty's just like knocking shit over.
Well, that's me.
So MagFest is going to be awesome. We're going to be giving away all kinds of fanny packs and t-shirts. We even made a new t-shirt just for the event.
Yeah, version 2.0. What do you think?
It says Soundrop. Was that a good choice?
I like it.
Yeah. It kind of matches the fanny packs.
Yeah.
And we got more of those too. So we're going to be having a good time there, and it'll be just after New Year's and Christmas and all. This is the Christmas edition.
That's right.
Or the holiday edition.
Thank you.
You're welcome, since Rusty celebrates. What religion do you have?
None of your damn business.
Oh.
I celebrate Christmas because my parents do.
Oh, do you go to your family?
I do, yeah. Stay over at Christmas Eve, go to Elise's family's for Christmas Day. do the whole thing, you know.
My family's Jewish, but they still do Christmas because they're more consumerist. I'd say consumerism is my parents' religion.
Yeah. Probably, yeah, my parents as well.
When I was growing up, we did Hanukkah and Christmas just because it was just more opportunities to buy crap.
There's a Lord of the Rings meme in there somewhere about double holidays.
Oh, what?
We'll find it.
All right, I don't understand that reference, but I don't understand any other references. So since it's getting towards the end of the year, Rusty had an idea.
Yeah,
that
he did.
I didn't understand, and he painstakingly explained it to me, and I still didn't understand, but he understands it, and that's what's important, and he's going to explain it right now. Right?
Yes.
That's on the agenda here.
So one of my favorite things to do towards the end of the year is go through and revisit all of the albums that were so awesome over the course of the year. I do end of lists, I do top 10, top 20. I thought it would be really cool for the Soundrop community and artist base to give us your favorite track that came out this year. And we will be able to see from a community perspective, like what inspires you and what inspires your peers. I'm really looking forward to hearing some of these songs. And I think, collectively we'll be inspired. So what we're going to do is we have a Google form that we have set up, and you'll just fill it out with artist name, track name, and then a link to a YouTube video. And we're going to make a YouTube playlist, which we'll post publicly. And then just shuffle through it. See if there's something you like.
How are we getting this link across here?
Well, let me post it here in...
Put it in the chat?
I can put it in the chat. Oh, Rebecca's got it. Even better. So we'll do that. I think it's going to be out in the email as well. And yeah, and then we'll go from there. As we get responses in, we'll add them to the playlist, and then come January, we'll turn the form off and we'll see what we got.
And we're going to curate it.
That's right.
Rusty's going to curate it.
Yeah, so only one response per artist.
Yeah. I'll just be sitting over here, putting my hands in my macaroni and cheese on my booster seat and kicking my little legs.
Yep. Well, it is December after all.
It is December. And, you know, like, holiday, end of the year stuff is fine. I actually don't get that excited about it, but I do get excited about He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and I got excited about the new She-Ra cartoon.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about that. How is it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, the animation style isn't exactly like my favorite thing. It's kind of like the, like that Cartoon Network kind of look. But one thing that they did nail with the animation is the backgrounds are super colorful and trippy and psychedelic, just like the original He-Man movies. Or show, and the other thing is that they build out the personalities of the characters a lot more than the original ones were just like Skeletor is and he's dumb, and then all his sidekicks are bumbling buffoons, and He-Man's our hero and he beats them all, and like there and with She-Ra there's just the same thing. There's no real like depth of characters, but in the new She-Ra cartoon, they take all those original characters but actually build out like what their personalities are and everything. So that's really interesting to watch, like, you know, what's their take on what Glimmer and Bo and all of them are actually like. So there was one objection I have with it, which is like it's in canon, it's in Masters of the Universe canon, but
Keep going.
Okay. Well, it seemed like there was like a little problem with the microphone. Well, I didn't want to just talk about She-Ra and then nobody hear it.
This
stuff is important.
That's right.
So DC Comics has created a canon for Masters of the Universe history, and it does fit into that, but in the DC Comics, She-Ra starts out as an evil general who is slaying all the like townspeople and stuff, and they did not do that in the cartoon, which is much more geared towards kids. Instead, she was just raised by the bad guys and eventually discovers that they're the bad guys and that she has to join the rebellion. But
Gotcha.
she doesn't actually take part in the atrocities like she does in the, like, you know, whatever adult-themed DC Masters of the Universe comics. So all in all, I would say even if you are not a fan of any other Masters of the Universe stuff, the new She-Ra cartoon's worth a watch. The animation is good, it's colorful, and the story is good. The dialogue and everything.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
I'm down with it. All right. Well, I guess we should actually talk about music distribution stuff.
Yeah, may as well.
Yeah, this
may
is
as well
not the
get
vibe
into
you were
it.
expecting to walk into. Sorry, we got all kinds of stuff going on here. We're having a good time.
Sweet. All right.
So, first things first. If you log into your Soundrop account,
which we highly recommend you do on a regular basis.
Do it all the time.
Yeah,
log
please.
into your Soundrop account. You will see a new link in the resources section that says something like discounted sample licensing.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what
Correct.
the link says? All right. Basically, what that does is takes you over to a service called Tracklib. Now, what Tracklib does is it allows you to legally sample a piece of an audio recording from a pre-cleared database of audio tracks, and you can sample a bit of it to use in your audio recording, and Tracklib deals with all the licensing and all that stuff, and you just pay a tiny rev share based on how much of the sample you use. You pay a little bit of upfront fee depending on how valuable the original content is, and it's a really cool service that allows you to just use samples without having to worry about contacting the rights holder and everything. So Rusty is going to log in.
Yeah.
And give you a little tour of the platform and see how it works. Let's
dive in. Let's take a look.
All right, so we're going to go to a screen share if we haven't already.
Cool.
We're doing it. All right.
All right. So when you log in to Tracklib, it's pretty easy to navigate. The way that I prefer to do it is just by going by genre. You can select any genre that you want. For me, I selected hip hop, and then you can go by region. Like if you want Eastern European, I'm impartial, but I do like very specific keys. So, for me, E flat major or C minor, some of my faves, and struck out. But yeah, you would just go through, select some different criteria. Maybe you want something that's instrumental, and you can just go from there. Listen to a sample. And so this is cool. Like it'll give you an idea, of what the song's going to be. If you can start brainstorming and get creative with how you're going to use it. And the basic structure, the payment structure for this is that you pay a one-time fee for the master WAV file itself, and then each sample is in a different category. So there's categories C, B, and A. C is the cheapest, and then B, and then A is typically reserved for major label sort of stuff. So,
quick question, Rusty. So one says license, the other two say add to cart. Oh, because you've already.
Because I already purchased Boomin' in Ya Jeep.
Boomin' in Ya Jeep. You have been booming in my Jeep.
Yeah. A lot of. Nope, not even. No, I'm not going to continue with that.
I had to get that thing detailed.
Oh boy. Yeah. So this is the basic "Boomin' in Your Jeep" song.
Ya Jeep.
Yeah, Ya Jeep. So that's what it sounds like. It's basically just like a drum beat, and I figured that would be perfect. Well, you can't hear it, but everyone else can. And so, yeah, I took this. I paid $2, and now I can license it after I make my remix or sample it in some meaningful way. So what I ended up doing was I created an ambient black metal song.
Oh, ambient black metal. I want to hear this. Wait.
Let's do it.
If I hear it, how's this going to work, Ben? I need the audio engineer to tell me how this is going to work. How can I hear this? There's no way I can hear it without creating some crazy echo, right?
Right.
Right.
All right.
So I'm just going to play it, and everyone else will hear it.
You have to listen to it on your own time, buddy.
That's right.
I will spend a lot of time listening to this.
Yeah.
I know.
So
sit on your booster seat. Shut up, Tony.
So one thing, so you'll notice that I haven't really used the drums at all yet. So the sample size that I took is I took a kick drum sound, I took a snare, and I took a hi-hat, and an open hi-hat. So in total, I only took about 2 seconds.
Right.
Which means that I'm going to pay very little in terms of a revenue split back to the original songwriter or original publisher.
Yeah, so it's not the stems.
No, no, no. I mean, it's the full song, and then you chop it up however you want.
Right, so you're sampling the audio recording. Now, there's Chelsea's got a question in the chat. It's like that. So that costs $50.
Yes.
And the answer is, well, it's $2 to just download the high quality audio
And play around with it.
and play with it. But then, depending on how much of the sample you use, then you're paying the $50 license fee to be able to legally use it in your audio recording, right? Is that one of the $50?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So $50, I can distribute this now. I'll be kicking back 2% in revenue to the original copyright owner.
Right.
But I can do this forever, so it's just it's a flat fee.
Yeah. Now here, well, actually, and it even gets better because that 2% that you're paying back, that just Tracklib just collects that, and when it has reached, when that 2% equals $50, they actually credit it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you continue to pay 2% to the original rights holder
Right.
after that. So it's $50 that you pay up front that's then recoupable based on the earnings, and then you continue to pay 2% after you've basically paid yourself back. And
Correct.
so, and if you follow the link in the Soundrop account and sign up, then those $2 downloads, you get 3 for the price of 2. So you get a little deal just for doing it.
Yeah.
You get a deal for signing up through Soundrop. So that's
It's pretty cool.
thing.
Yeah. What did you guys think of my ambient black metal? I will tell you that the name of this song was, in fact,
here we go.
Unending Waves of Despair. And the lyrics, which were short, are Unending Waves of Despair, An Ocean of Sorrow, Fallout 76 is a waste of $60. Gutted.
Let's just let that sink in.
Yeah. Let's let that sink in.
Yeah. So, are you singing on this track or doing like the black metal?
Something like that, yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if you can call it
Did you guys hear that?
actual singing. Yeah.
Oh, I get it. It's because they're way fast. Oh. Oh, Sebastian's here.
You got it.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
We just already dropped your name earlier.
Cool. So,
yes.
Tracklib.
Yeah, so that's Tracklib, and everybody should at least go log in, check it out, give it a try, because there is actually some pretty good music in there, and we're actually working with Tracklib to, get them adding as much content as they can to that pre-cleared database.
So what's the deal that they're offering?
It's you can download 3 tracks for the price of 2.
Sweet.
Yeah, but the reason that, so we're only one of the distributors, or one of only 2 distributors that Tracklib works with, and the reason is because you can set up the automated splits right in our system that automatically go back to the original rights holders. So if we didn't have that feature, then as an artist, you're having to account for 2% of all your earnings and then submitting that to Tracklib like on some kind of regular basis. But you just use our system, and then all that stuff just happens in the background.
Yeah, so sign up. If you wanted to sign up an album, you would clear the license with Tracklib first.
Oh yeah, this is how it works. Good call, Rusty.
Yeah.
I even had it on my notes, but I put my notes down.
That's right. That's why you got to keep your notes up.
Here's my notes.
So, some Tracklib. Yeah, basically all you do is you sign up the release, and then you set it to distribute. You send an email to us with a copy of the license from Tracklib, and then we set up the revenue share for you.
Yeah, you just do a regular, instead of doing the rev splits thing that you have to send us, you just send us the Tracklib license and the splits are all in there. Though, if you wanted to split your share again, then maybe you'd have to do another rev split. But anyway, this just prevents it from being rejected because it's using an original audio sample. So then we just, when we're approving it, we see, oh, this is licensed through Tracklib, so it's all good. And we approve it.
Yeah.
And take care of the accounting for you. So check out Tracklib. It's a cool service.
Awesome. All right, what's next?
Yeah. Was that a good one, Brian?
Yeah.
Make sure to point more next time. Love it. Cool.
All right. There is a very simple, free platform that you can use.
A lot of you guys are already using it.
A lot of people are already using it, and that's actually why I decided that it would be worth covering today. It's called Smart.url.
It's pretty smart.
It's really smart.
It's the smartest.
And after Rusty explained to me that there isn't actually a guy named Earl who is really smart, I was like, who's this guy? We got to meet him. And Rusty's like, no, here's what it is.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a single landing page that allows you to link to all these different sites to your album or single, whatever site it's on, all from a single page. And so this is another really just convenient, handy, efficient way, and it's free, a way to promote your new release or something that you've got that you recorded a long time ago, and maybe now it's just suddenly appearing in a new soundtrack or a new game.
Yeah, you want to give it some new life.
Sorry, I had to mute my. All of a sudden I'm getting emails and it's making these weird ringing sounds. Yeah. So Smart.url. So because this is a tool that is totally free. Everybody should be using it anyway. It's a good supplement to the show.co tools that we give you inside your Soundrop account free as well. I thought that it might be a good idea to have Rusty give you a little tour of that as well.
Yeah.
So what do you say, Rusty? Would you like to do that here today?
I think that's a smart move on your part.
Oh, thank you, Earl.
Wait, what? All right, cool. So Smart.url, as you guys may have seen before, just allows for basically like a one-page site that you could direct fans to. And I'll show you what a finished one looks like. But basically, all it is you put in links to the stores where your content is live. You can give a link to a YouTube video that you want to direct people to, things like that. And yeah, and then you just share the URL for Smart.url, and then people can, ingest your content however they want to.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. Just devour it. And this is a lot of saving.
So if you have, for instance, an ambient black metal track that includes a sample that you just licensed from Tracklib, and you've distributed it through Soundrop, and you want a simple landing page that you can post on social media that takes people to their music platform of choice, this is a great option. And this is what it looks like. Yeah, so this is what the finished product is. So the social media links are up here. I have a YouTube music link for my favorite song on this album that we put out last year, and then links to relevant music services. Very, very straightforward, very simple. I like how the background, I believe, is just the image, but it's really blurred out. It's very
huge,
ambient and black.
I love it. So when you're going through this flow, the reason why Smart.url is actually so smart is you just give them the iTunes link to your release, which, if you are logged into your Soundrop account, you can actually just copy this view on service link for all of your stores, paste them into Smart.url, and it'll get you going. By giving them just your iTunes link, it will populate Apple Music and it will populate Spotify as well. So it's like the big three are already finished when you do that. Just from iTunes, which is pretty awesome.
That is so smart.
They're just a bunch of smart people.
I think we've beaten that one into the ground now.
Yeah, that's smarts. So we have the platform URLs for all the social media, and then one thing that's really cool too is that it will have different country URLs. So somebody in Germany will get to the German page on Apple Music or on iTunes versus somebody in France going to the French page. So that's pretty awesome. It's super straightforward. This took me like 5 minutes to set up. Highly recommend it, and it's free. Did I mention that? It's free. Do it. You deserve it.
Yeah, you deserve it. And because it's free and it's a really easy, simple way to promote, whatever new release you have, there's really no reason not to be doing that and just take one more decision point or one more click away from somebody who might be looking for your thing. So, yeah. Smart.url, no reason not to use it.
Fantastic. Cool.
Well, that was good. Man, we're only 30 minutes. We're not even 30 minutes into this thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We've got a long way to go and a lot of embarrassing stuff to do.
Can't wait.
So, but to prevent any further embarrassment that might arise from our interactions, Rusty, we should bring Rebecca on before things get too far.
We'll save it for later.
All right, Rebecca. Woo! Come on in, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Round of applause. Applause for Rebecca. Yeah, that's right. What's up, Colby? Good to see you. While these guys are changing out here, I'll see who we got. We got Ro, Chelsea, Sebastian. Somebody? I think Sebastian? You got Colby, yeah.
Hi.
Rebecca, you're looking very festive.
I am extremely festive.
Did you choose to wear the Santa hat, or did the sweater vest of content approval choose for you?
The sweater vest of content approval has taken on its own consciousness, and now it's controlling me.
All right. Well, we can talk later if you need.
Okay.
Help. If you need other sweater vest options, maybe they're out there.
Yeah. That would be
but
good.
I can't imagine anyone being
every
better than
occasion.
this. Is that Argyle? Is the Argyle a thing? I don't know.
It is not Argyle. It's
I don't know
just
what Argyle means.
plaid. Argyle's like the diamonds.
Okay, thanks.
Plaid's the squares.
All right, well, thanks, Rebecca. I'm glad you covered
good info. All right, bye, guys.
All right, no. Actually, what we're here to talk about is something far less fun than festive sweater vests and clothing with its own consciousness. We're going to talk about rights disputes and DMCA takedown claims.
Yes,
right?
We're going to talk about that.
All right, so here's what can happen. Somebody can contact Spotify and say, that artist does not have the right to be distributing that piece of content, take it down. And Spotify or Apple or Deezer or theoretically any
other partner, yes. This is by U.S. law, partners are required to take down releases in this manner if a claim is filed.
Right. So this happens. We deal with it every day. Sometimes it's absolutely legitimate. Sometimes it appears very illegitimate. But Rebecca is going to kind of explain some of the ins and outs of what's actually happening when a DMCA claim is filed, and how we respond to it, what your options are as an artist, what you have to do, and how it works. So let's start with the types of DMCA takedowns. What are the reasons that somebody can say, hey, that has to come down, they don't have the rights to distribute that?
Sure. So someone could dispute a release based on the composition. So that's, this person doesn't have the rights to play my work. So that would be like a cover song, or if someone didn't license a cover song and they submitted it, something like that.
Okay. So you're doing a version of somebody else's composition, and they're claiming you do not have the rights to distribute that particular sound recording that has their underlying composition.
Right. So they're saying that
for a variety of reasons, right?
Right. So it could be a bunch of different reasons. The other claim is the sound recording. So the person is saying you don't own the rights to the sound recording, period. Not just the composition, the actual sound.
Right.
And then the person can also claim both. So they could say this person does not own the rights to the sound recording or the composition.
Okay. So let's say this happens. Somebody says, for example, this would probably be the thing that would be most relevant to our artists. Maybe somebody comes in and says, hey, Spotify, take down that track. Mm-hmm. They're covering a song that I own the rights to that composition, and I have not, it has never been released before, and they don't have the right to release it first, right?
Right.
Those are grounds under which somebody could file a DMCA.
Yep, absolutely. So what we would do is we would get an
what would Spotify do?
Well, first, Spotify has a form that would be filled out. There's a bunch of official info that a partner would need to file a DMCA. So this person...
Official info?
Official info.
But that's not good info.
It shouldn't be good info because they are under penalty of perjury stating that what they're saying is true.
So, when under penalty of perjury, only provide good info.
Yes, exactly. So this person filed a DMCA takedown with a partner. There's usually a form to do so. They're stating under penalty of perjury that they own the rights to this, that this claim is legitimate. We receive an email from the partner with the contact information of the person who is making the claim.
So it goes to the distributor.
It goes to the distributor because...
Which should be us.
Yes.
We should always be the distributor that you're using.
Yes, correct.
Just saying.
Yeah, so it goes to the distributor. Our awesome customer service team gets the email. They read through it, and they will remove the release from distribution. We tell the partner, okay, we've removed the release, and then we email our artist and say, look, there was this dispute. Here's the contact information of the person making the dispute. To resolve it, you're going to need to contact them directly and let them know either that you do own the rights or try to work out this directly with the claimant.
Okay. All right, so let me back up a bit. So the claimant says, Spotify, you got to take this down. Spotify just takes it down. They don't touch base with us and say, hey, what's the deal with this or anything. They just, boom, down, right? Then they send us a notification. So we're not the ones taking it down.
Right, but we do issue a takedown to all other stores because it's pretty serious when we get one of these claims. Right. It's actually a legal issue. So we don't want you to run into any other issues with the release, so we remove it from all stores until we can get that resolved for you.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Always.
And if you do end up resolving the claim directly with the claimant, they're like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, you're right, this is licensable. I'm going to withdraw my claim. They need to withdraw their claim to all partners so that they issued the claim to, and then we can follow up with the partner and say the claim has been withdrawn. Please reinstate this release.
Now, how often are these claims, in our experience, how often are they legitimate? Because I know, I mean, somebody can, you know, in the past we've seen somebody like distribute whatever Ariana Grande like song. Right. They just call it something else, and for whatever reason it sneaks through approval. It goes up, and you know, that gets identified. Mm-hmm. That's a really clear one where it's like, oh yeah, that comes down. That person's booted off Soundrop. Like, yeah, that's not going to fly.
Right.
You're done. Thank you. Good day, sir. You drank fizzy lifting liquid. You're out.
Right.
But then there are the edge cases. Like, how often does this stuff get resolved? Like, did the claims get lifted?
Yeah, they occasionally do. So we can do a few things. If your cover song is licensed, we will provide you with a proof of licensing. We'll tell you to please follow up directly with the claimant with this proof of licensing. If the claimant has questions or anything about the license, it has all the information and how it relates to U.S. law. So we have seen claimants withdraw claims in that case. We have, on very rare occasions, we can't necessarily do this for every single DMCA takedown we receive. We have, on rare occasions, talked to the partner and said, you know, this information seems all legit. This song is released here. We have it licensed. We're paying mechanicals. Is it possible to put it back live? And then they reinstate the release.
And so in cases where it's an edge case, where we're only going to kind of like go to bat when we're very confident.
Right.
There are some cases where it's like, it was an edge case to begin with. We distributed it. If it gets, you know, if like the publisher asks for it to be rejected, then we just take it down, no questions asked. Right. Sorry, artist, that one's not going to fly.
Right.
Better luck next time.
Or, you know, if we do take down a release and we ask you to contact the claimant, you can always contact them and see if you can work it out. That's always an option. And if you do end up working it out, you can always send us documentation that you have, and we are totally good redistributing that with the documentation. We've definitely had that happen before when someone had used the name of I believe it was a video game that was using a certain song, and they said from such and such trailer, and the person contacted us, the rights holder to that video game, and was like, hey, this is fine to distribute, you just need to remove the name of our video game from your release. And we did, and everything worked out just fine.
Yeah, and I had one, I remember, where they were actually distributing a song that's in the public domain, but again, they put from Handmaid's Tale or Game of Thrones or something. It was from like a show that had used that song, and so they had the name of the show, and they got a takedown, and all it had all they had to do was just take that out of the track title
Right.
and redistribute it, and it was fine.
Yep.
So it wasn't even a problem in that case with the audio, with the sound recording. It was just with the metadata. So this stuff happens. We monitor it and manage it as much as we can on your behalf, and keep you like, you know, we notify you as the artist, and you know, give you all the information we have. But the big takeaway is that ultimately when this happens, it's the responsibility of the artist to work it out with the person claiming to be the original rights holder. As the distributor, we can't get into that and fight that battle. And unfortunately, you know, in some cases, the claimant will not respond, and in
Right.
which case there's nothing that can be done, because the music platforms will say, if you guys can't work it out, we're not touching this thing, and they
Right.
just drop it. So, you know, it's one of those unfortunate situations that exist for a very good reason, but when people want to take advantage of it, it's a pain in the ass.
Though they are stating under penalty of perjury that this is the truth. So if somebody did want to pursue that legally, there's the potential that you could do that.
So in a court of law, they would have to go in and prove, no, I own this, they couldn't distribute it for these reasons. But then you're getting into the lawsuit. And, ugh.
Exactly. And I mean, the basics of it are, we don't own your rights. So we can't defend those rights necessarily for you. And that's the advantage, and why we can help you for such a low fee, and why you don't lose any publishing, any money from your performing rights organization, because we're not claiming that we own any of it. So, you know, we always want it to be the person who owns the rights stating that they own the rights, rather than us, who doesn't really have that documentation, and only you do.
Yep, so Spotify's going to back away, we're going to back away, and let the rights holders work it out.
Exactly. The other thing I think I wanted to address is a counter DMCA claim. We've had a few come through where someone was like, oh, well, here's my counter DMCA stating that I, under the penalty of perjury, own the rights. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do in that case. It still needs to be worked out with the other claimant, because we know that you're claiming that you own the rights, because when you sign our terms of service, when you go to distribute, that's what you're saying. So the only thing we could back you up with is say something like, they own the rights, but without any documentation that a claim has been retracted, or any documentation that they own the rights, we're not going to go anywhere. So yeah, you'll always want to follow up with the claimant with your counter DMCA notice.
Yep, and in that case, you definitely want to get legal assistance, I would
Yes.
say, right?
Yep, always.
Unless you're just going to bluff and just put it out there and hope that they get scared by the counter DMCA and then just go, okay, I'm lifting the claim.
Yep, we definitely don't recommend that.
No.
It's always good to get legal advice from an attorney, if you can.
Yeah, definitely do that. Is there anything else did we get any questions in the chat about DMCA stuff?
I don't believe so. I think we're
Rusty? No?
good.
Oh, Chelsea likes me in pink. I'm pretty in pink.
You're pretty pony in pink.
Oh no.
Pony, a princely pretty pony in pink, prancing particularly.
As I said earlier today, this is getting very weird.
It is getting weird. Okay, well, I think that covers it for DMCAs. Yeah, let's move on to something that's a little bit more fun, but equally geeky, which is classical genre metadata handling.
Specifically.
Oh, yeah, that is a weird one. Yeah,
Yes.
specifically.
Specifically.
Oh, yeah. Not track titles.
Not track
album
titles.
That's a whole other ball of wax. What we're talking about here. Wait, I just used the phrase ball of wax. Is that a thing?
No.
Did I just make that up?
You just made that up.
It is a thing?
No, you made it.
There's no ball of wax? There is a ball of wax. I think it's just you have to just be ancient. But you're not ancient. But no, you are now. You're going to be tomorrow. Sorry. Okay, this is distracting. No, we're going to talk about classical. Okay, so how when you distribute a classical release, the composer is handled. So we actually
Right.
got a question about this from Florian, who graciously provided our intro and outro music for our live stream here. So the question was basically, if you're searching for a piece of classical music on a music platform, you're probably not searching by the exact title, which can be something, like whatever, Concerto 9 movement, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even know that.
Yep. You always need the opus number, the movement number.
Yeah, all that.
It gets really detailed.
Right. So nobody's searching for that. They're typing in Beethoven, if they can even figure out how to spell that. But Beethoven is not the artist. Beethoven is, there's no way that Beethoven ever appeared on an actual recording, and the music's in the public domain, probably. So you want to be able to search by Beethoven, yet
Right.
he's not the artist. He's not in the track title or the album title. So there's special handling for the composer role
Right.
on music platforms with classical music in particular. So, Rebecca, make me stop talking.
Okay. So the reason that there's special handling of this is exactly what Florian said. People want to be able to find a release by the composer name. So how are people going to do that if the composer isn't the artist? Well, with classical content, the composer shows up in a separate artist, quote unquote, artist role on a music platform. So you might see the actual artist name. So in Florian's case, you would see Florian Hack. And then next to Florian's name would be Ludwig van Beethoven. Now, it's super important that all composers are entered with the conventional composer name. So if he just put in Beethoven as the composer, it's not going to end up on the Beethoven page like it would
Well, it would end up on the dog's page,
on the dog Beethoven.
because he's just Beethoven.
That is true. He is just Beethoven.
Everybody's just everybody behind the camera is just staring at me angrily right now.
That's not true.
Derailing poor Rebecca. All right,
That's
keep
not
going.
true.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. But the other side of this is, what if you are covering a contemporary song in a classical way? So are you going to see Ariana Grande as the composer on a partner? You probably don't want that. And Ariana Grande probably doesn't want that because she doesn't want to see your cover on her artist page.
Right.
Right. So it's important to kind of weigh, is this classical music where someone is going to want to search by composer, or is this classical music or music that I am playing in a somewhat classical way where we don't want the composer to display? So a lot of times it'll be like a soundtrack. You can always use soundtrack as your genre and the composer won't display. Easy listening is another great genre to use.
Wait, nobody wants to use the genre easy listening.
People want to use the genre
Wait.
easy listening.
In my day, easy listening had a very bad connotation. Is that not the case anymore?
I don't think so.
All right, there's a few people in the room here. I'm going to get a count of hands. Who thinks the term easy listening has a bad connotation?
It's just Pony. Those of you
I got one. Three.
yeah.
Adult
Yeah.
contemporary too, yeah.
Or electropop.
Electropop has a bad.
That's like Imagine Dragons.
I love
We're
Imagine Dragons. I
we
think
are going to
Imagine Dragons-
change the subject.
No, Imagine Dragons is incredibly talented, and I think that the music that they have written has allowed people to cover fantastic compositions that will last a lifetime and mean a lot to people for generations to come.
Yep. And Ro says, I imagine easy listening varies person to person. Mine is 70s soft rock, and I like it. See,
Wait, you think Steely Dan is
Oh.
easy listening?
I shouldn't have said anything. Moving on. You can also use the instrumental genre.
Instrumental now, that's a good one.
Yeah, pop is always an option. Yeah, I mean, we have classical style covers of pop music quite a bit, and it's always better to select pop as the genre rather than classical.
Okay, well what about like Philip Glass? Does he count as classical?
Yes, so there's classical contemporary music that is also a genre on our service, and usually those composers are okay with that kind of formatting because it's the standard on a partner site. So if you're thinking about, for example, you know, I already used Ariana Grande, let's use Imagine Dragons. So if I'm covering an Imagine Dragons song, you know, there might be 10 songwriters on that song as well. So
Just the 4 guys in the band.
it's just, are you sure?
Yes.
Look up the credits.
I'll do that after.
So, you know, it's going to display really weird. They probably don't want it as well. But these contemporary classical people who you might see their music performed by an orchestra or a philharmonic, something like that. That is something that you could list as classical.
So one thing that I tend to see is people who do classical style, kind of electronic, classical orchestral arrangements of video game songs.
Right.
So recently, and now the artist who it was, I'm not remembering, but somebody covered a Deltarune song.
Yes.
They did it in a synthesized orchestral style, and they chose classical as the genre, with Toby correctly being the composer.
Yes.
But because they chose classical as the genre, Toby was treated like Beethoven and showed up as an artist on the release, which he wasn't, and that was pretty bad. So in that case, what did we have to do to fix that problem?
All we have to do is change the genre. So,
Just
you know,
the genre thing.
Yep, electronic is appropriate. So it's just basically choosing your genre appropriately. I think we
we
got
disappeared.
lost.
Do I have to turn it back on?
Oh yeah, we should turn it back on because I look so pretty and pink. Everybody wants to see my pink. No.
No.
No. It's the sweater vest of content approval is the real star.
I don't know about that. Well, now that it has its own consciousness, maybe I do.
Is it controlling?
Yeah, it's controlling me. Anyway, yeah, basically, as Rose said, genre is really important, and just picking the right genre for your music, there's a bunch of things to consider. So definitely, if you're going to pick classical, you'll want to check out our awesome Help Center article on how to format classical music and read through the guidelines and see if your music kind of fits into that category.
Yep. So classical music genre, be aware of how that's going to show up on music platforms when you choose it. All right, that was my little sign at the end of the... No, we got more, Tony. We are not even close to done. You're going to be amazed at how much content I can fit into the last 10 minutes of this live stream, guys. All right. So one thing that happens that we see a lot that we really enjoy is a cappella groups. So a cappella groups use Soundrop a lot. I think the fact that it's so affordable and they do a lot of cover songs and it's you know, the built-in licensing, the revenue splits, they can, you know, when they're in school groups and stuff, they can like make sure all the revenue goes where it needs to go. If there's a cut that has to go back to the school, whatever, they can pass the account down as they graduate and everything. So we do a lot of business with a cappella groups. The great thing, one of the great things about a cappella groups is that they tend to use puns to make their names. And if there's one thing that Rusty loves, it's a good pun.
Really?
Yeah, he's shooting daggers at me. So, what we're going to do is show you guys the name of an a cappella group, pun name, and then we're going to show it to Rusty, and we're going to see how Rusty feels about this pun. So, Rusty, cover your eyes. So I don't want him to see the monitor. And we're going to show you this.
Hold on.
How are we going to get this?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Ah, yikes!
Oh god!
We should have planned this a bit better.
Man body. All right.
Okay. So.
Anything for a laugh.
Don't.
We've got this as our acapella pun of the month.
Let's just let that.
We're gonna let that hang out.
Yeah. Just so everybody really gets it. Okay, there it is.
Okay.
All right, now. Here, we're gonna. Oh yeah. Take it off there, and then. Rebecca, sweater vest, it's been great. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
I'll see you again in a few minutes. You're just going to be sitting right there.
Yep.
So I'll see you this whole time. And then we're gonna bring Rusty back, and we're gonna get Rusty's take. Before we find out what's on his mind, we're gonna actually try to completely clear Rusty's mind with this a cappella group name, Rustapella.
Is that the segment name?
Rustapella. All right.
Oh boy. Oh lord.
Are you ready for this, Rusty? Here it is.
I'm not. Let's do it.
Show it to Rusty.
Yep. It is the University of Delaware MELUDs. Get it? It's the University, UD, the University of Delaware.
Oh, so University of
UD, but they sing, so it's a MELUD. It's a melody.
No, I get it. This is great.
All right, so scale of 1 to 10.
Thanks. I give it.
Got it, Tony.
I give it an 11.
11?
No.
On a scale of 10?
I give it a 10.
10 out of 10?
They're all 10 out of 10s in my book.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Our beloved a cappella groups.
That's right.
I love them.
Yeah.
They're really exciting. Okay, now that we've got Rusty back, what do we want to talk about?
Chelsea mentioned Here Comes Trouble. Nice.
Here comes, that's definite. Oh,
Classic.
The treble makers, it's all over the place. My favorite recent one was Acapocalypse.
Yeah, that's something else. I also like Priority Male, as in an all-male a cappella group. and the album title is First Class.
So good. There's hundreds of these in the system.
It's pretty impressive.
I love it.
All right, let's talk about what's on my mind.
Talented singers. Yeah, okay. All right, we're on the Rusty's mind part.
All right.
What's on Rusty? There's still stuff on your mind after all that?
I'm trying really hard to remember.
That's a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mind palette cleansed. All right.
Cool.
Go, Rusty.
So,
what's on your mind?
I've been playing a lot of Moon Hunters lately.
Moon Hunters?
Yeah, it came out a couple years ago. I don't know if anybody in the chat's familiar with it. Super interesting. It's kind of like Diablo, a little bit. It's procedurally generated. You get to pick one of, I think, 5 different characters. It's all myth-based, which is super interesting. So the myth is that the moon goes away, and you're one of 4 or 5 tribes that worship the moon. And this sun cult has come and invaded, and they are going to burn down the forest.
Okay, wait. Whoa, dude. You are moving fast. Are we on Earth here in this game? Okay. I just need to do a step. So it's our moon.
Yes, it's our moon, and it's our sun.
Sorry. Okay.
And so yeah, basically you have to like fight the leader of the sun cult or whatever to bring back the moon.
Oh, that sounds badass.
And every time you play through it,
wait, does that do we know where the moon went, or is that the mystery of the part of the
that's the mystery.
Okay.
So I'm not going to spoil it. This was an indie game. I think it went under a lot of people's radars. It's absolutely worth your time. I think it's like $15 on Steam. I've already put 15 hours into it, and I've beat it multiple times.
But that's scientifically impossible for the moon to leave.
Well, yes, but these were simpler times, Tony.
And you have to play the game to find out where the moon went.
That's correct, yeah.
To beat the Sun Tribe
into
submission before they burn down the forest.
Well, no, I mean, they burn down the forest every time. That's unavoidable.
But just like real life.
It's
Not
too
that
true.
That's funny, but
no.
Gallows humor here, folks, on Rusty's mind.
So the things that I like about this game, the music is excellent. The soundtrack, so it's like completely different areas that you play through. So like you're in the forest, you're on the mountains, and all the things you fight are completely different. The music is a reflection of the landscape in which you're in. Each time you play through the game, regardless of whether you beat it or not, if you die, your character is still immortalized in the collective myth. And so you'll see shrines and statues erected in honor of previous characters that you've used. It's super, super interesting. And so it really adds replay value to it. So yeah, really, really enjoyed that.
Moon Hunter.
Moon Hunters. Check it out.
Moon Hunters.
Melodies.
The MELUDs.
If anybody from the MELUDs is watching right now, we do love you. We love our acapella groups.
That's right.
I'm very confident nobody from the MELUDs is watching.
Well, that's why we'll clip it out and send it to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Cool.
good pun. It made the stream.
Let's answer some questions.
Okay, we got questions. Yeah,
We got
all right.
questions. We got a little bit of time. Let's do it.
All right, here's a question that Ro sends us every time. Goals for Soundrop in 2019 as a site and a service, right?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you got? What can we divulge?
Oh, I'll divulge. I'll divulge everything.
You do every day.
Is Tracy still on this stream here?
You want to find?
Is our legal Joel still on there? All right, maybe I won't just divulge everything, but I'll diverge a lot. So, first thing, content ID on YouTube, cover song content ID. Nobody's doing it. It's a touchy thing. We're talking to YouTube. We're working on it. I think that would be very cool. Less sexy stuff, like just making the app faster, just perform better. You know, I think
Constant site improvements. Yes.
yeah, just those dialing in, so you just click on something and it just goes to it. Right now, like the pages load a bunch of data and it kind of goes a little slower than I'd like. I want to build rev splits into the sign-up flow. So when you're creating an album, you're also plugging in who gets paid for it. So you're not having to do that in a separate process. Just make that all more seamless. I want to add a ton more stores for distribution.
Oh yeah, we got a laundry list.
Yeah.
And it's going to be awesome. It's a matter of when exactly we roll out the red carpet for all of these guys.
Yeah, so at a certain point, we're going to do a huge publish and we're going to add a ton of stores all at once. The reason we're not doing that yet, though, is because as Soundrop works today, you have to opt in every release individually.
Click by click.
Click by click, it just sucks. So the other thing that we want to add is a feature that allows you to just opt in to have your music just automatically added to every new store that we add or have added, and make sure that if your content is in Soundrop, it's automatically on all the stores that we deliver to. Some
Yeah.
services will upcharge you for that. We're not going to do that. It's just because, you know, we benefit when you're selling music on as many places as possible. The more money you're making, the better we're doing. So we want to roll that out. So first, I think before we do this big ad of new stores, we got to get something in there. Rusty's sweating right now because we already talked about this, but I want to get that opt-in. Yes, automatically send me to every new store you add. Again, there's not going to be a fee for that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it right here, so I'm held to it forever. So yeah, some of that stuff. Anything? What am I missing here, Rusty?
I mean, I think that's good. Good for now.
Good for now.
Yeah. There are lots of other things, but a lot of things are in preliminary stages, and we don't necessarily want to give too much away. But we do have a lot of cool things coming. And
if there's ever a time to give it away, it's here and now.
And maybe next month.
We'll do it next month.
All right. Also,
after MagFest, when our mental palettes have really been cleared.
Yeah. And speaking
we
of
gonna
getting
jam?
smashed.
Wait, real quick. Jamming at MagFest.
Jam
right?
sessions?
There's jam sessions.
Jam rooms?
Should I bring my bass? Is Rose still on here? I can't tell who's still on here.
I believe there are
no.
jam spaces. There were at MagWest.
Then I definitely will be.
I'm hesitant to fly with a guitar, but if there is one lying around, it'll be a shredathon.
Ro, are you bringing a bass?
He says he's bringing his electric guitar, which is awesome.
Portable amps. Oh God. I just don't know how. I'll hit you guys up on in jams or something. I want to know, because if there's one thing I love to do, it's jam till the sun comes up.
And there will be plenty of that. Ro also asked, what's your main character in Smash Brothers?
All right, so I don't play Smash Brothers. I don't play any modern video games because what will happen is you will never see me again. I will stop coming to work. I will stop sleeping. I will stop eating. I will lose my family. I will lose my home. I will just be sitting on a park bench with a BitBoy with no electricity. So I can't have modern gaming systems in my house because it's too addictive for me. But without knowing the gameplay and what the moves are and how it works and everything, I would choose NES. Ness would be my guy.
It's a good
because
pick.
I love Earthbound, and I like the idea of whipping ass with a little boy with a red cap on. Does he have a yo-yo?
Yep.
What are
He's got a yo-yo. He's got a baseball bat, of course, and there's a really rewarding cracking sound whenever you hit somebody with it.
Oh, God,
which is fantastic.
Don't tell me that.
He has some psychokinetic abilities like a PK Flash and PK Thunder.
Oh, can he pray?
No.
doesn't pray, okay.
No, he doesn't pray, but he also has like an energy field where he absorbs energy attacks and he heals himself with it. Ness is a great
Just
pick.
thinking about playing Smash Brothers. Look at me. I'm getting faint.
Hot flashes.
I'm getting weak.
Yeah, speaking of getting weak in the knees.
I'm about to fall off my booster seat.
Oh no. My main is Captain Falcon, and he rules. He's super fast. He has this flying knee that if you time it just right, you'll just kill people, just constantly. He also has a down spike that is easy to master. Also a very rewarding character. Secondary would be Kirby, just because you can suck people up and then drop off the edge, which rules.
Story of my life.
That's right.
All right.
Sheik is a great pick too.
Sheik?
Yeah, that's what Colby dude just mentioned. Yeah, Sheik rules.
What? Oh, jeez. Oh my God, are you guys playing Smash? How do you do it? How do you go back to normal life after that?
You turn it off and then you go back to normal life.
But what's the mechanism in your mind that says, turn this off now, everything's going to go away?
It's 3 a.m. and I'm going to lose my job if I don't go to sleep.
That's the thought that I end up not having. I just go, oh, it's 6 a.m. I'm supposed to be at work in a couple hours. Anyway.
All right, well, we'll keep you off of the Smash, but the rest of us in the office will have a great time.
Yeah, I get too addicted to video games. And, you know, I already have enough addictive entertainment pastimes. You know what my favorite one is, Rusty? Guess.
Watching wrestling.
That's right. And if there's one thing that people who love wrestling love to do, it's talk about wrestling on the internet. And I just happen to be on the internet today, so I'm going to talk about wrestling. But because everybody else hates it, I'm going to limit myself to 1 minute.
1 minute.
60 seconds of wrestling talk. With
on the clock. Are you ready? And go.
All right. Recently at Survivor Series, Daniel Bryan, who had just turned heel and won the title on his brand, faced off against Brock Lesnar, who was the title on his brand. Now, this is a dream match, years and years in the making. It's never happened. What everybody has wanted is for Daniel Bryan, the David to Brock Lesnar's Goliath, for them to go head-to-head to see what happened. And the match finally happened, and it was absolutely amazing. Brock Lesnar, so Daniel Bryan had been horribly injured a couple years ago, had to actually retire, but came out of retirement. He had like concussion and neck injuries and all this stuff. And Brock Lesnar is a beast. He's known for just dropping people on their head. So there was like a lot of like, oh my God, is Brock Lesnar going to kill Daniel Bryan going into this thing? So the way they did the match was like the first 10 minutes of it was Brock Lesnar killing Daniel Bryan, and then Daniel Bryan started to come back. But I'm not going to spoil the match for you, but I'll just say that it was my match of the year so far.
That's it?
That was all right. It was my match of the year so far. So if you can seek it out, Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar.
Beautiful.
All right. We're now 6 minutes over. Everybody's going to leave the stream. People have lives. This is a horrible time to even do one of these. So,
yeah, with that in mind, let's talk about the next time we do this at the same time.
Yeah, it's going to be after. So normally we do it the first Tuesday of the month. We're going to be at Super Magfest then. So we're probably going to do the next one on January 8th. Mm-hmm. And that is going to be a rough one. So you should tune into that.
Or it's going to be smooth as silk.
Well,
you never know.
It's very positive thinking.
Let's keep it positive.
All right, let's keep it positive, guys.
Cool.
So follow us at Soundrop on Twitter, at Soundrop Distro on Instagram. We're on Facebook. You know how to find brands and stuff on Facebook.
It's called a
YouTube.
search function.
Yeah, search us out. We're all in all of those places. Happy birthday to Veronica, who helps us with all of the live stream stuff and posts all the little goofy Instagram shit that you see. And I think, is that it?
That'll do it. And thanks so much for being here with us, and we'll see you next month.
I think people like when I do that.